Look at those big brown eyes. And that mane, isn't she gorgeous? This is Molly. She is a mini horse, just one of the many rescue horses here at Horse of Connecticut in Washington, Connecticut. And here with me is Patty, who is the founder and owner of Horse of Connecticut. And we are so happy to be here because we're here for a birthday party for Fiona.
Are. She's made it to 11.
She's made it to 11
yes,
years
she
old.
has.
And here it is just absolutely beautiful. Patty, tell me about Horse of Connecticut for those who don't know.
Well, we've been here for 23 years. I actually started it 37 years ago, and it was 2 horses that needed to be rescued, and it's been going ever since. I never thought that this would continue to this age, but we've rescued over 700 horses and ponies. We try and place most of them. The ones that cannot be placed stay here till they pass away. But the idea is that they get new homes and get a new chance at life.
Every horse has their own little story.
Yes, yes they do.
Let's start with Molly, because
Molly,
we
the
have some
miniature.
company here too.
Molly actually came from Louisiana. She was a petting zoo pony with a stallion, and she had a baby at her side. She was pregnant with another one when they came up here, and she's staying here. She's a mascot, so she goes to the nursing homes and that kind of stuff. She's a real good ambassador.
Oh, wow.
They are able to handle her and be able to groom her and actually walk her with a wheelchair, that kind of thing. So it's a really good thing for elderly people that can't get out to have them. We actually bring them to the senior centers. They get to, do everything from grooming to feeding and just get to spend time with an animal. So
it's fabulous.
It's a nice outing for them.
And I have to say that Horse of Connecticut is absolutely beautiful. We saw some girls in the field with the horses, so it's really a wide variety.
Yeah, we have all ages. I mean, I have little ones that come here to help take care of the ponies, and then I have, everything from, I have my oldest volunteer is 80, and we have some people that come up just to help. They groom, hand walk, and just clean up the paddocks and the fields and stuff, and just want to spend time with the horses. And then I have some of the, especially the young girls, that want to help me with the riding, because I've got a lot of horses that get ridden, so they have a great time.
And I noticed you have a very good turnout for Fiona's birthday, and she's a special horse too. She has a very special story.
She's actually one of Secretariat's great-granddaughters. She had been raced 8 times, 4 that she actually won, and then she got injured and started doing badly. So instead of giving her the time off, because she was only between 2 and 3 years old, they sold her, and then she got bred and she didn't take and got sold again, and then she got given away. And by the time we got her when she was 6, she was standing in a pen starving. And they had broken all her ankles. She had stab wounds from a pitchfork in her chest. She had an open infection in her spine from riding her with a Western saddle when she was that thin. It was just not a good situation. And she has a fatal lung disease, multinodular pulmonary fibrosis, which is, it actually fills the lung with fibroids. And she only has 20% use of her lungs. But as you saw with the video, she still looks great. She still gets around. She just doesn't like to be touched.
And then she is in there with Duke, and Duke is like twice her size. And he has an interesting history as well. I noticed a brand on his side.
Yes. Yeah, he's actually registered Belgian, came from Canada, was sold down here in the United States. He was a world champion driving horse by the time he was 6 years old. And I guess by the time he was 7, they had sold him for a lot of money, actually. And he got what's called an epilotic flap. It froze. Sometimes they get paralyzed. It's common in draftees. I've had several with surgeries. And instead of doing the cut, what they call a cutback surgery, where they cut it so that it moves open and back and forth, they actually took the flap out, which now means he has an open hole from his throat to his lungs, which is deadly. I mean, they can die from that. So he lost a lot of weight. The people that bought him didn't know how to take care of him, and they were going to euthanize him. And their vet actually called me the day before he was going up there. So I brought my vet, who said, I think we can save him. And of course, that day I brought him home, I watched him drink water. The water went right from his throat, right out his nose. So I knew what was going on. So I took him down to my vet hospital for surgery, and they couldn't do surgery because the flap was already gone. So we had to change everything he has. So he gets everything up in the air now, nothing down on the ground. He can eat grass if he wants, but everything he gets, his food, water, and hay, and everything is all above shoulder height so that he doesn't suck back into his lungs.
And
so
I mean, you wouldn't even know by watching him running and kicking
no,
up. And
no, he's very healthy now.
Quite a show for the birthday party,
later, so.
Yeah. Many of the horses here, well, they're all rescues, along with your dogs.
Right.
We didn't see the cats
and the
today.
chickens, yes.
But there are horses here who can be adopted. Is that right? How does it work if one is interested, Patty?
People come up to visit the farm first. As a matter of fact, we have somebody up there touring that's going to be looking at parent to adopt. And we have them bring, pictures of their setup, that kind of stuff. Basically, we adopt horses out as trail horses, because a lot of times, like Fiona, they had been been show horses and race horses and that kind of stuff, and that's their past life. Now they have a new lease on life, so we have them retrained as trail horses, and they go home as family pets and members.
Two of the horses you have for adoption are actually over here, these two very handsome boys.
Yes, they are. This is Legend. He's a 16-year-old registered quarter horse.
Gorgeous.
And behind him is Mikey, who's a 23-year-old quarter horse thoroughbred cross. And these guys are both, he was on the racetrack, and then a show horse was going to be euthanized a couple years ago. And then same thing with Mikey, was a show horse that was going to be euthanized. And I said, sure, we'll take him. So he's getting back to work and becoming a riding horse again, and then he's going up for adoption next month. So.
How can our viewers help you out? I'd really like them to know, because this is just such a wonderful facility.
Well, what I try and explain to people is if they don't have money, if you've got time is just as good. Some people are afraid of horses, don't really want to work with them, but I mean, they'll come up and they'll clean paddocks, or they'll clean trails and, help me clean tack, that kind of stuff. So I mean, there's other things you can do on a farm rather than just being with the horses, and then they'll get trained as time goes on to get comfortable and all that.
And what about donations? Can you use money? Can you use any items?
We can use everything from fencing to gravel for the, paddocks, grass seed, that kind of stuff. It's not just money.
Thank you. Thanks for being
Thank
here.
you for coming.
Thank you, and thank you, everybody. This has been
Thanks for coming.
Lauren's Crazy Pet Show.
Thanks, honey.